before the days of Ronald Reagan. Couldn't get it done. We repealed the core of Obamacare. The individual mandate is gone. So unpopular. The individual mandate, where you pay a fortune for the privilege of not paying for insurance for health care. And let me tell you, we just repealed it. You don't have to pay anymore. So big. So big. And we would have repealed and replaced Obamacare, although we've got a long way toward doing that anyway. We just had to do it a longer route, because we had a gentleman late into the morning hours go thumbs down. That was not a good thing he did. That was not a good thing for our people, for our country, whether you're Democrat or Republican. And everybody said, oh, good, we have his vote. We have everybody's vote. We were going in for a routine repeal and replace, and he went thumbs down. Not nice. That was not nice. We're bringing back our jobs from other countries. We're bringing back our companies from other countries. Chrysler is coming back. Chrysler just announced they're coming back. Many, many companies are coming back to our country. They know where the action is. This is where they want to be. And as far as trade is concerned with other countries, we want fair and reciprocal trade. We don't want stupid trade like we had for so long. Stupid trade. Remember the word reciprocal. Remember the word reciprocal. We have been ripped off by almost every country on earth, our friends and our enemies. And I hate to say it, our friends do a bigger and better job than the enemies. But those days are over. Those days are over. And even before we finish off with the trade deals, and we will finish off with the trade deals, people don't realize we have the cards, because we're the piggy bank that everybody was robbing for 30 years. We're like the piggy bank. Let's go get some more. You look at the European Union. They put up barriers so that we can't sell our farm products in. And yet they sell Mercedes and BMW, and the cars come in by the millions. And we hardly tax them at all. They don't take our cars, and if they do, the tax is massive. So they're basically saying, we're going to sell you millions of cars. By the way, you're not going to sell us any. Not going to work that way anymore, folks. Not going to work that way. We will not be taken advantage of anymore. We're a great country. We're going to be an even greater country, hopefully greater than we've ever been before. We have such potential. We just secured a record $700 billion in funding to rebuild our military, which was in very sad shape. And we have approval for next year, $716 billion. We're ordering new planes. We make the best in the world. We're ordering new ships. We're ordering new military equipment. And we even gave our great warriors a raise. Gave them a raise. For the veterans, we passed the largest VA reforms in half a century, a landmark VA accountability law. You know what that is? You couldn't fire anybody that worked in the VA. They were sadistic in some cases. They were lazy. They were this. There were lots of different things. You could never fire anybody because the accountability, you could forget it. So we passed a bill that they've been trying to pass for almost 40 years. It's called VA accountability, where now you bring the person into the office and you say, Jim, I'm sorry to tell you, you're fired. Get out of here. Boom. right? And even more important, and I didn't think I'd be saying this so soon because I would campaign on this. I used to go out during the campaigns, and you know, because I was in Minnesota a lot, but obviously one more trip, that won't happen again. But one that's really important to me, and I used to say to myself, I wonder why doctors don't just take care of our great vets. We just passed Veterans' Choice legislation, signed. That gives our veterans the care they deserve, the care they earn. Now look, so our veterans were waiting online for 9 days, for 12 days, for 3 weeks. Some went online with a minor problem. They ended up having a terminal disease. Now, I said during the campaign, before I knew too much about it, but there's a lot of common sense in life. I say, instead of one of our great veterans waiting for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, why don't we let him go see a doctor and pay the bill? And that's what we're doing. That's Veterans' Choice. That's Veterans' Choice. And you know, when I went to people, I thought, I think I'm such a genius, okay. I thought this was like the greatest idea. But I went to the vet groups, I went to we've been trying to get that passed, sir, for 30 years. Okay? I didn't know that. But what I did know is I knew how to get it passed, and we got it passed. 2 weeks ago. And by the way, we passed another one. It's called Right to Try. Do you know what Right to Try is? Very proud of it. Right to Try. These are people that are terminally ill. It's sad. They travel all over the world if they have the money. If they don't know what to do. If we have drugs that haven't been approved yet but are showing tremendous promise, it didn't matter. It didn't matter how sick you were, where you were, you couldn't get it. And the reason was they didn't want to do anything that's going to hurt you. You're not going to be around for 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, I kept saying, why can't we do something? If people had the money, they'd travel to Africa, to Asia, to Europe, trying to find the cure. It was called hope. They wanted hope, and they couldn't get it. I said, it's ridiculous. I got involved, and this is also like Veterans' Choice. For many years, people have tried to pass it. And Kevin was a great help, I have to tell you. Kevin McCarthy, who just left the stage, was a great help. So were your congressmen, a great help. And we got Right to Try passed, and 4 weeks ago, I signed final legislation, and we're very proud. And many people are going to be saved. Many, many people are going to be saved. And you'd think it would be easy, but it wasn't. Between the insurance companies and the healthcare companies and the pharmaceutical companies, it was incredible. But we did that. And now we're bringing down the prices for prescription drugs, way down. So we've made this incredible progress together with your help, with the help of the millions and millions of people that, well, some polls got it right, but not all polls got it right. But they showed up, and the beginning of that night, people are saying, you know, this could be a big problem for the Democrats. They were not liking what they were seeing. They were seeing too many of those hats. They were seeing too many people with, you know that. That was an amazing evening. That was one of the most incredible evenings, because that's a movement the likes of which this country has never seen before. This country has never seen. You know, we talk about the forgotten men and women. They're the smartest people. They work the hardest. They pay taxes. They do all of the things. And yet they were the forgotten people. And believe me, our people are the smartest and the hardest working. Smarter than anybody and the hardest working. You know, a little thing I was talking about today. You ever notice they always call the other side, and they do this up, the elite. The elite. Why are they elite? I have a much better apartment than they do. I'm smarter than they are. I'm richer than they are. I became president and they didn't. And I'm representing the greatest, smartest, most loyal, best people on earth. The deplorables. Remember that? The deplorables. Oh. You know, I was watching when Crooked Hillary made, and by the way, hey, excuse me, have you been watching what's been going on with the Inspector General's report? What a scam this whole thing is, okay? How guilty is she? With Peter Strzok and his lover, Lisa Page. I don't think their wife and husband are too happy about that. What do you think? What do you think? I don't think so. No, but have you been seeing this whole scam? Do you believe what you're seeing? How, no matter what she did, no matter how many crimes she committed, which were numerous, they wanted her to be innocent. With me, nothing. No collusion, no nothing. And they just wanted to take all of us. They wanted to put us in trouble. And it's not working too well, I'll tell you. Disgusting. Called the phony witch hunt. Phony witch hunt. But you look at the corruption. Did you ever see anything like it, really? Today, more things. That's why they're building up immigration, so you can't see what's going on in Congress. They're building up immigration. They don't want to show what's happening in Congress where this whole scam has been revealed. So they want to stay on immigration where Obama had bigger problems than anybody, where Bush had problems, where they want to stay on immigration because they don't want to go into the halls of Congress, which has totally revealed the Russian scam that's going on. What a group. What a group. I'll tell you something. We want to get along with Russia. But Russia's looking out and they're saying, man, I wish she won between our military, our oil that we're doing. She wanted to have windmills, you know. We want to compete with the oil. All the things we've done. All the things we've done. Including sanctions. So many things. They're looking back. They're saying, you know, I wish Crooked Hillary won that election. It would have been a lot better for Russia. So what we want to do is we want to elect more Republicans so that we can deliver on all of the things I'm talking about. And I'll be honest with you, we're going to deliver anyway. We're going to really deliver it. We're going to lift millions of Americans from welfare to work, from dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity. We are going to lift them. You know, one of the greatest things about all the jobs we've created, to me the greatest, is that people now don't get stuck in one job and they hate it. They don't want to get up in the morning. They have many, many options. They can go out. Wages are rising. It's a beautiful thing taking place. They can get something. I've always said, you know, when I make speeches on how to be successful, I always say, like, the first thing, you got to love it. You got to love it. You got to love your job or you're never going to be good. These people now that didn't have any options, they were hanging on to one job that they hated. They have many, many choices. They get the job they want. And for the first time in 20 years, wages are rising. We're going to build new airports, and we're going to build railways and highways and waterways all across this magnificent land. We have spent, because of horrible decision-making, $7 trillion in the Middle East. Think of it, $7 trillion. And if we want to fix a window, it's like a big deal. $7 trillion. It's all coming back. Remember, during the debates, I talk about growth. Growth! We need growth. Nobody's ever seen growth like we're having right now. When I go around and meet foreign leaders, they all congratulate me. Mr. President, congratulations on the growth of the United States. Congratulations. Every one of them. First thing they say. First thing they say. By the way, is there anything more fun than a Trump rally? Is there? Seriously? And we break every attendance record every single time, just about. We're going to put new steel into the backbone of our country. And we're going to make that steel right here in the United States. We're going to breathe new hope into our communities, and our workers are already so proud again. We will do it all with American hands, an American heart, and American pride. And everything we do, we will stand up for our citizens. We will fight for our country. We'll stand up for America. And we're going to stand up for the great state of Minnesota. And you're seeing that. Your great state was pioneered by men and women who braved the wilderness and the winters to build a better life for themselves and for their incredible families. They were really tough, and they were really smart and strong. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of luxury, but they had grit, and they had faith, and they had courage, and they had each other, right? They were miners and ministers and fishermen and farmers and shipbuilders and shopkeepers. But they all had one thing in common. They loved their families, they loved their country, and they loved their God. Together, we're renewing the miracle of the great American Midwest. Do you remember not so long ago, we were producing those cars and we were producing all of this stuff? And since then, so many companies went to Mexico and went to other places. As I said before, they are coming back, and they're coming back faster than anybody could ever believe. We're standing on the shoulders of great American patriots who put down the railroads, built up the highways, and dug out the most amazing Panama Canal, losing thousands of lives in doing it. They crossed the oceans, trekked the desert, scaled the mountains, created the most incredible republic the world has ever seen. And you know what? Our republic today is prouder and greater than it ever was before. Our beautiful ancestors won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and put a man on the face of the moon. And I think you saw the other day, we're reopening NASA. We're going to be going to space. Space Force. Space Force. So we have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard. But we have the Air Force. Now we're going to have the Space Force because it's a whole... We need it. We need it. As long as we are proud of who we are and what we are fighting for, we will never, ever fail. There is no place like our place. There is no place. With your help and with your voice and with your vote, the Republicans will win and keep on winning. We will keep on winning. We have great people. And Pete is a great guy. You got to get him a victory. Great guy. Got to get Pete a victory. You got to get him a victory. We need him. We will achieve victory for our magnificent country and our magnificent land, the land that we love, because we are Americans and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever stop fighting for our country or for our flag or for our freedom. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Minnesota. Thank you, Minnesota.